Golly. Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back out here at Tenoroc again for another video, but this isn't just any video. Today we are on a special mission to pre-fish for a tournament that is going to be next weekend. I've been racking my brain on which lake to fish out here. There's about 24 lakes out here that you are able to fish. I have fished about half of those and I keep coming up on this lake. We are right in the beginning of summer. The bass should be positioning in different summer stages right now. And this lake historically is well known for its summer patterns. So I'm coming out here today with my friend Mr. B to see if we can get on some kind of a pattern. I do think that dragging baits is going to be a big part of the key to success for the tournament next weekend. But I do have some big baits tied on to see if maybe we can trick a few big ones first thing early in the morning while there is a reaction bite. And then as those bass begin to transition out into deeper water, we're going to have to drag some kind of bait. So we got to figure out what exactly they want, but we have about 5.5 hours to figure out a few patterns that may work here in about a week for tournament day. I do think that it's going to take a pretty nice bag to be anywhere close to competitive on tournament day. It's probably going to take about 85 inches, I would say, to even have a chance to be in the top 3 and cash out, which means that's about a 17-inch average. So today we're going to try to put a few 16, 17-inch bass in the boat just to have some confidence in a few patterns and techniques and see if we can have a fighting chance on doing well in this tournament. It'll be interesting to see what exactly the day has in store, but it should be a good one, y'all. So stay tuned, and as always, I appreciate you watching. Now let's go fishing. All right, we're going to start off with some big baits today. I don't want to be greedy, but having some 18+ inch bass in the mix are definitely going to be the key to success here in a week. So if I could interact with a few nice ones first thing in the morning on some bigger baits, that would definitely hedge my bets. So I'm going to stay around some areas where it's relatively shallow and there's a quick transition out deep. So we're going to see if we can get a few bass in the boat on some swim baits. It'd be cool if we got on a big bait bite. I just fished one of the flats, no bites. I spent a little bit more time with this Pro BBZ. Try to throw around this Berkeley coal shad for a little while. I'm getting a feeling they're not wanting to come up on top this morning for whatever reason. I'm really liking the way that this coal shad is swimming. Stays about a foot down. Has a really good kick in action. I'm fishing in a 3 to 6 foot depth, so they should easily be able to pull them up if they're willing to come up for a big bait. Right now I know that I'm being a little stingy throwing around this big bait, but if I could get just 1 or 2 big bites first thing in the morning and really get things moving in the right direction first thing, that would be great. This lake historically has slightly larger fish on it, but sometimes they can be a little bit more finicky than other places. This is not a lake for numbers for me, but the quality is generally a little bit better. So we'll see if that holds true. That's one of the main things for the day, is to see if we can get any quality with some of these baits. Golly, I don't know if I still have them or not, but that was a big old bass. It's gonna be a miracle if I still have them. Well, I switched over to the popper real quick and I got bit. Wow. That was a nice one. Bent my hook out, getting stuck down there on that log. It wasn't the bass that bent it out. Shoot-wee. Man, that was one of the best topwater strikes I've had in a while. Just put down that coal shad for a little bit and got destroyed. Alright, well, let's put the old coal shad up for a little bit. May come back to it later, but if I'm gonna get bites like that, I need to spend more time with this popper. I know these hooks are sticky sharp. I just changed them out. Must have just barely had it. Took it down and got stuck on that log, but that was a nice strike. Moving on from topwater, had that one rogue bite, but nothing after that. That's one of the right ones. Definitely. Square bill it is. That square bill is gone. It's gonna be probably 17, 18 inches. Yeah, that's 17 and a half. That's the quality that we need. That's probably about the size of the one that missed that square bill. That is what we need. Thank you, buddy. Well, I had to present a smaller bait up in those shallow areas where I was thinking some of those bigger bass would patrol, but we ran into two of the right ones. We missed that one on top, but that is the quality that we need to do well in the tournament. Those 16, 17 inchers at a minimum. The way that that bass ate it, you would think that they would all want it, as it was just about gone. Turn around the square bill for a while without any luck. And move on and try something else for a little bit. Try the old speed worm out. Okay, speed worm. Very nice. He's got some sores on him. And that one is also pale. I kind of figured that these bass would be relating to the bottom. This was an old phosphate mine, so the bottom is very white and pasty. It's not a bad one. Yeah, about 14 and a quarter. Not bad. Thanks, buddy. Well, he came up and grabbed that. Another little keeper. Came right up off the bottom. They are so pale out here. Small little keeper. About 12 and a half. Good old speed worm. Just can't beat it. We are done with this section of the lake. Gonna move a little bit further back here and see if maybe we can start catching them on the bottom. We will see. Have you been catching them?
No, first one I've caught in a long time. That's it. What have you been doing?
I've been bit once or twice and I've caught 2 since last time we've spoken. Speed worm.
Really?
Did you just catch that one on a square bill?
Yeah. Started going like right, because you said something about 8 feet.
Yeah.
So like right along here was about 8 feet, so I threw there a couple times. I was like, I'll just throw a couple times in there.
The 2 I caught, I was swimming the speed worm. I wasn't even on bottom. I'm hoping that the later it gets, the easier they'll be to catch because they'll just be laying on the bottom. But wow. That took a lot of cast. A lot of cast. All right, well, we may be onto something here. Yeah, see, wow. Now that will tell you something. He's got mud on him. So, I mean, they are laying on the bottom. About the size I just missed. Well, that was the clue that I needed. So these bass right now are plastered to the bottom. I knew they would be, but that bass having mud all over his belly, Definitely confirmed my suspicions. All right, let's see. Look for some Ole Monsters here. Let's see here. I know I have them in here. There we go. Those classic Florida baits during the summer. Let's drag this Ole Monster around for a little bit. Okay, on the Ole Monster. Alright, calm down, buddy, calm down. It's been a while since I've caught one on Ole Monster. That was the second bite that I've had on that Ole Monster. 14.5. Well, that's 3 decent fish. Thanks, buddy. Both of those bass were caught right at that 8-foot mark. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's where they're holding. So when they are pulling off from the shore in the morning, I wonder if that's about the depth that they stop at. Right around that same depth. Might be an Ole Monster kind of a deal. Yeah, see, it's still not that big, but about 13 3/4. Hey, buddy. For some reason, they really like that Ole Monster. I'm gonna go look for another area where those bass are holding that 8 to 10 foot range. It should be able to be replicated. Mr. B said that he's been catching his on a shaky head, but I have not been able to get on a shaky head bite at all today. I've had one small bite on a shaky head. Well, that's an Ole Monster for you. But that was right at 10 foot. And that was probably about a 15, 16 incher. Well, I definitely found another spot that's in that same water column, so we're just gonna move on. It's a shame that we didn't land it, but I was able to see it. That's all that matters. landing that 17 and like 3/4 or whatever it was, that popper fish, and then just seeing that bass and having those 14.5s mixed in there, it kind of gives me some hope that now that we have some patterns dialed in, maybe we can stand a fighting chance and find some higher quality fish. We're just going to need to stay hooked up. That's the whole deal. It is official. The Ole Monster works. They're so pale. You know they're laying on the bottom though. Thanks, buddy. Okay, well, we know that the Ole Monster works. There's no question about that at this point. And that was, again, what you know, right at that magical 8 to 10 foot depth. I'm gonna put this up, try to throw around that shaky head, see if maybe that's something that will work. Last cast. Alrighty. Trip is over. I would call that a successful pre-fish. Alrighty, y'all, practice is over. I would say all in all, I'm happy with the way that practice went today. First thing in the morning, we did try some swim baits to try to get that bigger bite, and we didn't have any luck there. Quickly transitioned over into those shad profile baits, and that's where we started to interact with some decent quality. That popper had a really nice blow up and then able to catch that nice one on the square bill. And honestly, I was kind of lost after that for about 2 or 3 hours. I caught a few random fish on the speed worm beating the bank, but I was waiting for those bass to fully transition offshore, and somewhere around 10:30, 11 o'clock they did. And they were locked in that 8 to 10 foot water column. And the Ole Monster was the only thing I could really get bit on consistently. I caught about 5 or 6 on that Ole Monster within an hour, and I'm happy with that. So we're gonna wrap it up, and that's gonna be the pattern for the afternoon. In the morning, we're definitely gonna really try to capitalize on that morning bite with a popper, square bill, and probably mix in that speed worm somewhere in there and try to really capitalize on that morning bite. So hopefully we can get a few decent fish in the boat. And then as those bass begin to transition offshore, we will tie on that Ole Monster and try to catch some big bass offshore. There's always some modifications on the actual tournament day, but that's the game plan on this side of things. Hey, as always, y'all, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel out a great deal. Thank y'all for watching. I'll catch y'all on tournament day.